Picture a world soaring into the future where giant airships drift through the skies, symbols of progress and power. Now imagine a secret so bold it could rewrite the weather itself, a plot to turn those airships into weapons of nature's fury. Today, we're exploring the tale of the Great Zeppelin Conspiracy of 1927, a story so audacious it feels like it might belong in a dusty history book or a wild piece of fiction. Is it truth or just a flight of fancy? Let's climb aboard and find out. Our story takes us to the Roaring Twenties, a time when the world was obsessed with breaking barriers. Zeppelins, massive airships longer than football fields, were the kings of the sky, ferrying passengers and dreams across continents. But in this tale, they were more than luxury liners. It's 1927 and the global stage is tense. Nations vie for trade routes, colonies, and prestige. Behind closed doors, a shadowy group, call them industrialists, maybe rogue scientists, hatches a plan to tilt the scales. They name it the Great Zeppelin Conspiracy. The idea was as dazzling as it was unhinged. These plotters supposedly wanted to rig a fleet of Zeppelins with secret devices, machines meant to control the weather. Not just fog or a light drizzle. Think storms fierce enough to sink rival ships or flood enemy ports. The goal? Dominate global trade by making the skies a weapon. They'd seed clouds from high above, turning Zeppelins into floating storm factories. It's the kind of scheme that sounds like it could reshape empires, or at least make a great headline. In this story, the tech was the real marvel. The conspirators allegedly built contraptions. Bulky, whirring machines packed with chemicals like silver iodide, said to coax rain from thin air. These would be hidden in the Zeppelins' bellies, disguised as cargo. The airships would glide over the Atlantic, unnoticed, dropping their payload to whip up tempests on demand. Picture a captain flipping a switch, and somewhere below, a hurricane starts to churn. It's a vision straight out of a science magazine, or maybe a fever dream. But pulling it off was no joyride. In this tale, the plotters faced endless hurdles. Zeppelins were slow and fragile. One spark could turn them into fireballs. Sneaking heavy machines aboard without tipping off crews took nerve and bribes, and the science, shaky at best. Early tests, so the story goes, caused chaos, freak rains in quiet towns, lightning storms that spooked farmers. Word started to leak and whispers of strange airships spread. The conspirators had to move fast or risk the world catching on. The stakes were colossal. If it worked, they'd hold the weather hostage, cripple rival navies, starve out competitors, all without firing a shot. But if it failed, picture Zeppelins crashing in flames, or worse, storms raging out of control, drowning cities. In this narrative, they aimed high, targeting the Atlantic trade routes where Britain and America ruled. Other powers like Germany supposedly caught wind and started their own secret projects, turning the skies into a chessboard of suspicion. It's a plot twist worthy of a spy novel. Now let's hold up. This all sounds larger than life, doesn't it? Airships bending nature, secret cabals pulling strings. It's the stuff of pulp magazines, not history lessons. Could anyone in the 1920s really dream this big, or is it just a yarn spun to spark wonder? Technology was leaping forward, sure, but weather control, that's a stretch. Maybe it was a rumor that grew legs or a story to scare rivals. What's the real deal? Here's the truth. The Great Zeppelin Conspiracy of 1927 is pure fiction. No airships ever carried storm machines, no cabal tried to weaponize the skies. It's a made-up tale born from the 1920s love of Zeppelins and wild ideas about science. Weather control was just a gleam in scientists' eyes back then, decades away from reality. But the story feels real because it captures the era's hunger for power and progress, when anything seemed possible, even turning the heavens into a battlefield. So that's the Great Zeppelin Conspiracy, a fable so vivid it could pass for history, but woven from imagination. It's a nod to a time when the sky was the limit and ambition knew no bounds. What do you think of this invented saga? Does it spark your curiosity about what might have been? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for more stories that dance between truth and fantasy.